Hey guys, this is Rene. Welcome back to another video on this channel, and today I'm back with another programming tutorial. I am focusing a little bit more on the martingale type of stuff, these grid systems that are super risky but that have a high reward chance on the other hand, because FTMO lowered their rule set and it is now possible to extend the 30-day period. And I'm still not done with these challenges. I want to win one of them sometime in the future. So I think it's fine to use these kind of risky strategies if it is okay for you to lose all the money, or if it is not your own money, like with FTMO. So in this case, as a little disclaimer before we start programming, make sure that you do not use high-risk systems if you do not understand them, or if you are not able to afford the money that you trade them with. So make sure that these 2 points are always in the back of your mind. So let's get to the programming. So what I want to do is, I think, let's do some basic chart analysis. Like when we have a look at charts, we often see markets like this, which we can summarize as a sideways market. And we see moves like this, which is more of a trendy move, right? So we will see this over and over again. So we will have sideways markets, like for example here, these 1 or 2 weeks or whatever, and we will have trendy markets like here, and we will have sideways markets like here, and we will have trendy markets like here, and sideways markets. And you can see there is always like these two phases take turns pretty much. So you will see sideways markets, you will see trendy markets. So the trends usually lead from like one sideways market to another one. So the idea that I had in my mind is, why not wait for one of these sideways markets, and then like if we see there is a sideways movement, at some point we will realize that they will have a highest and lowest point, and there's some kind of range where the price is going up and down. So we will trade the breakout pretty much. So we will, for example, if we have this range, this is the high, this is the low, we want to trade the breakout. So for example, here at this point, we would pretty much have our first sell trade, which would not really work because the price is going up. But at this point, we could turn around the position and maybe also increase the lot size. So we are just taking a gamble here and hope that at some point there will be a bigger movement, a trend movement, and that then if we increase the lot size, this big movement should make up for all the losses and even give us some additional profit on top. So this is the idea. And I will show you how you can write the code to have an automated trading program to do this for you. So this will not be an absolute beginner tutorial because it's not like a super easy strategy, and I don't want to explain everything like variables and control structures in every video. So if you're interested in learning how to write code for the MetaTrader 5 properly, you should go down in the bio of this video and you will find a link to my website where you can find a complete course on MetaTrader 5 programming. And this is the best course ever, and you will not regret it for sure, because you will learn how to write automated trading strategies, which is just such a huge and strong tool which will help you improve your trading and which will move your whole trading career to another level. But in this video, again, I will not make it a beginner tutorial, but I will show every step. So let's jump right into the programming part and let's create a new expert advisor. We can say, how do we name it? Sideways, like range, trend, range, breakout, martingale. I don't know, it doesn't really matter actually. Just create a new expert advisor, and then I like to delete the comments and the properties as usual. And let's get rid of all of these comments and make the code short and smooth and easy to have a look at. So what do we need? First of all, we have to figure out where these sideways markets are. So there are several ways we can do this. We can use indicators like the ATR indicator, for example, to see when the value is decreasing, which means that the candles are getting smaller. And this usually means that there's a sideways market. We could also say that we will have a look at the last, let's say, X bars, for example, 20, and check if they are a maximum size of epsilon. So this is, I think, what I want to do here. So let's go ahead and create an input variable for this. We can say range bars or minimum range bars. And then we can say like we want to have at least 20 range bars. And we could also have the time frame here. Time frame, like make it fixed to the H1 time frame for now. And then we will just check if the range of the last 20 bars is smaller than some value, or we could bind this to the ATR indicator maybe. Or we could say input int comparison bars. Like we can say the last 20 bars. No, I don't like this. Let's say we use the ATR indicator for this as a first step. So you maybe know the ATR indicator. It should be somewhere here, maybe examples. Yes, ATR. It gives us the average true range of the last X bars. Standard value is 14. And like the size of the bars. And does this make sense? No, I will go back to the first approach that I had in mind. And we will just use a comparison period, like 40. So we will check if the last 20 bars are like the range of the last 20 bars, if it's something like half of the size of the comparison bars period. Maybe we can use a factor for this, like 0.5. Okay, how do we do this? First of all, in the take function, we will have to get the range of the last 20 bars, which is really easy. So range, range bars. We can go I high, symbol, time frame, shift. Oh no, we need the highest high. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the highest or the high here. It's I high, symbol, time frame, and then we get the highest high of the last min range bars. We start at 1 and we get the low, which is completely the same, but we don't use the I high, but instead we use the I low function, and we search for the lowest bar here, of course. The rest can stay the same. And then the range bars, the size is high minus low. So range high, range low, like this. And then we have the same for comparison high. Comparison high is I high. Yeah, we can pretty much just copy the block here and do the same thing for the comparison period. Comparison. So, and then here we choose the comparison bars, of course. So this should work. So if we write a quick comment here, range bars size and comparison bars size, like this, we should see this in the as a comment now in the chart. Here I forgot to close the brackets. Okay, compile. And range high minus range low, and comparison high minus comparison low. Okay, so this should give us the two values that we need to figure out if we have such a range. So let me run the program here real quick and see if this works. So it is range breakout martingale. Let's attach it to the chart here. So we will have these two values, and let's check if this is working. These two values are the same, so it does not really seem to work. But maybe it's just okay, like this, like 20 bars. Yeah, it's probably because they have the same high and the same low. Yeah, okay. I think this is working. So we have a size of no, it's not working, I think, because the value here is not correct. So there has to be some issue with my calculation here. So we get the highest and the lowest index min range bars. I mean, it should be correct. Yeah, maybe let's print the high and the low to check the values that I get here. So high should be this. No, it's not correct. So, oh, it's because of the time frame, of course. I had the H1 time frame, so it should be this value. Yeah, this is correct. And then we have this value as a lowest point, which okay, it's taking this one, so 40 bars. Okay, yeah, but this seems to work. So we have the size from here to here, which is displayed in the upper left corner now. I mean, you can do this on your own PC. I don't have to show this, but this is correct. So what we have to do next is we can check if range high, or we can check if range bars size is smaller than comparison bar size multiplied with a factor. And in this case, we want to trade, right? So we could wait, let's also get the highest index here. And then we can display the range on the chart for some visual effects. And we get the lowest index, high lowest, symbol time frame mode low, and min range bars 1. And the lowest index here, lowest index like this. And then we can create a object. Object create. We should probably move these things to different functions later on. So we can say something like string mql program name plus, and maybe just like the timestamp, time to string, time current, or the time of the current bar, symbol, time frame, maybe something like this. So object name, object, rectangle label, I think is the best thing to choose here. And then sub window is 0. Date time. Oh wait, let's get the time here. Time 1 is time, symbol, time frame 1. And time X is time, symbol, time frame, and then min range bars plus 1, I think. So then we can also use time 1 here. And then we have time 1 and the price is the range high, and time 2 and range low, right? So like this. Hope this works. And yeah, let's just try this in the strategy tester for now. Time and time X. So let's see if we draw any rectangles, just to see if the code is working so far. Range breakout martingale. Of course, we have to choose the 1 hour here. Otherwise, we'll have the same problem again that I had before. And let's start this. So, okay, that's not really working. I think it's not the rectangle label, it's the normal rectangle maybe. I think rectangle label is it uses coordinates. Yeah, just use the rectangle here. Try this out. So let's give it another go here. So there are a lot of rectangles, and yeah, but I think we kind of find these sideways markets. I mean, it's probably not always perfect, but we find some of these sideways markets. And of course, it will not be like super perfect, but I think this is something we can work with for now. So let's go ahead and do some more stuff so we can go ahead. And we have to decide if we want to work with stop orders or if we want to work with market orders. And in this case, yeah, maybe let's create a class here where we can store the, wait, I can define it here, class C setup, public C object. Oh, and we have to include the C object class here, include object.mqh. So we can create a class where we have the current setup located or stored in datetime, time, wait, not like this, and we have a double A high, we have a low, and what else do we need? Do we need the index? We need the index, or maybe we can also, I think we can move it here. Yeah, let's do it like this. And we can also move the rectangle, the function that draws the rectangle inside of this here. And then, yeah. But then we also need the time X. And we have to create the setup variable here. So this will be the object variable where we store the current setup in. So let's say setup time 1 equal to this, and we have setup time X. And whoops. Oh, wait, see setup, how? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think we could declare it somewhere up here, but let's just do it like this. Time 1. Okay, I will just make all the members public here for easier accessibility. And then we have range high, and range low here. Okay. And low is range low. Okay, so we have this setup, and then once the setup is activated, so we only want to search for new setup if setup time 1 is smaller or equal 0. So if we have a setup already, we want to trade this setup until it is fully closed, so we don't risk opening multiple setups, or at least it's not what we want to do right now. And then this will find our setup, and if we have a setup, then we can just check if we have to open positions, right? And we only, like, do we want to have multiple positions open at the same time or only one position? I think one position is fine. So we need the starting lot size, and we can have a martingale factor for the position opening. Okay, like this. So and now it's really easy, like opening the positions. So let's include the trade.mqh file. Okay, maybe I will explain the code that I've wrote so far in a few words, because I think this was a little bit confusing. Okay, so what we did here is we include this object.mqh file because we want to inherit from the CObject class. I mean, we don't even have to do this. It would be completely the same if we do it like this, but I think it's just better to do it like this because it's proper programming, I think. Then we have several input variables. There's not a lot I can explain here. We will use the lot size, of course, for the first trade. We will use the martingale factor to increase the lot size if the first trade cannot be a winner. And then for finding the range, we define a time frame that we work on. We have the minimum range bars, the comparison bars period. So as I said, we will compare the last 20 bars. So the range of the last 20 bars 20 bars to the range of the last 40 bars. And if the last 20 bars are by a factor smaller than the last 40 bars, and the factor is always also a input parameter, then we want to say that this is a sideways range and we want to trade this. And for trading or for storing the data, I will create this class here. I made all the member variables and functions public. It's not like super clean, but for a short program, a small program like this, it's totally fine, I would say. And then we have variables for like the two timestamps of the range and the highest and lowest point. And then we just have a function that draws the rectangle. So we have a beautiful visualization in the chart. And then we create a global object variable of type cSetup. This is the class that we created. And we will use this setup variable to store or to check if we are currently in a setup. And then we have this calculation here where this is what I explained before, we just compare the last 20 bars to the last 40 bars. And if we have if we don't have a current setup, then we want to check if the last 20 bars are smaller than the last 40 bars multiplied with this factor. And if this is true, we will just fill the setup variables and we will draw the rectangle. And yeah, that's pretty much it so far. And if it's not true, so if we have a setup, then we want to trade. So what we will do here is, let's get the bid and ask price, symbol info double, bid and ask symbol info double, symbol ask, like this. And we want to check if, or let's just work with the bid price maybe. Yeah, let's check if the bid price is greater or equal than the range high. And then we want to buy, and if the bid is smaller or equal range low, then we want to sell, right? So we could, or we need a variable to store the ticket in. So position ticket is equal 0. Oh no, I cannot initialize it here. So position ticket, and then we could check this position ticket first in the onTick function. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. So we check if position select by ticket, if we are able to select this this position, then we want to check if position get integer position type is equal to position type cell. If we have a cell position, because then we want to close it. Trade position setup position ticket, and if we were able to close this, we will reset the position ticket. Position ticket is equal to 0, and here we, yeah. Yeah, I think like this it's fine. And yeah, I mean, you would have to add some more code because it could be possible that we were not able to select a position and position ticket is greater than 0. Yeah, maybe we can just reset it anyways then. Yeah, no, this is not really good. Okay, yeah, let's do it like this for now. I mean, it will be okay for testing purposes. And then we say if setup position ticket is smaller or equal 0, then we want to buy, right? So we say trade buy, and we have the volume, which is the lots. Or we will have to increase the volume if we closed a position before. So we have the lots here, and if we closed a position, then we have to multiply the lots, or we have to get the old position size, position volume, and multiply it with the martingale factor, right? And yep, this should be okay. Then we can round the lot size, and then we can use the lot size 0 to open the buy position. Symbol should be the chart symbol. We open at the current price. We don't have a SL and a TP and don't have a comment, so we can just go like this, or actually we can go like this, and then we do the same thing for the other scenario where we have a buy position open and we want to open a sell position. I think it's okay like this, and we want to sell. So let's check this real quick to see if we are actually able to trade now already. And then we will have to take care, of course, opening the take profit and stuff. Okay, we open positions, but I forgot to update the position ticket. So if this operation was successful, we want to say trade position ticket. Oops. Now it's set up position ticket is equal to trade result order. And if we were able to open a, whoops, if we were able to open a buy position. We also want to update the setup position ticket. Result order. Okay, like this. So if we compile this, we should only open one position now, and this position is closed and reversed pretty much if we have a breakout in the other direction. And this will never stop for now because I didn't add the code for it to stop. But yeah, we can see this is working so far. So we double the lot size every time, and we just trade pretty much. So now we, oh, this is a little bit weird. Why do we close it here? This is not really correct, actually. Wait, do we just find another setup? No, this doesn't make sense. If setup time smaller. Bid is smaller than range low. This doesn't really make sense. Let's figure out why this happened here. So let's just setup time. Maybe just comment the setup time here in the chart to check if this changes. Because normally we should not get to this second setup or whatever happened here. And okay, something is not really correct here. And I will have to figure out what this is. Okay, so let's get back to the code. So finding the setup actually works and the time is always correct. Then we have the range high, the range low. This should also be correct. Then we have the bid. We check if it is greater or equal to the range high. If we have a sell position, we close it, blah, blah, blah. If setup position ticket. Maybe let's check the position ticket here. This is always updated correctly. And maybe also the bid and range. Ah, okay, got it. I think I found the problem here. I'm comparing to the range low, but I have to use the setup low and setup high here. Because range high and range low are still constantly updated, which doesn't make sense, of course. But now it should work just fine, and we should see that now we don't open multiple setups or multiple positions if we're not supposed to. Okay, so this seems to work now, so we just have to take care of the position closing. So what we can do to close the position, obviously we don't really want to work with a stop loss because it's not really the idea of the strategy. So we could work with a take profit like as a fixed take profit in points, or we could say we want to close if we are in profit by X% of the account, of course. And maybe that's what I want to do here. Maybe we should work with a variable lot size. risk in percent, maybe use 0.5%, whoops, of the account. And then also we could have the TP in percent. This would kind of make sense, I think. Maybe also 0.5. Okay, so now we of course have to update everything here. So calculating the lot size a little bit different now. Oh yeah, let's just do it here. This is not like the perfect, most efficient code, but it does the job. So let's calculate the lot size. What we have to do is we have to get the range setup range high minus setup low. This is the range divided by symbol info double symbol trade tick size. So we have the amount of tick size and we have to multiply this with the tick value, I think. Symbol info double symbol trade tick value. So we would have the amount of money we lose if we trade a complete lot. And since we don't want to risk that much, we want to calculate the risk here, which is account info double account balance and multiply it with risk percent divided by 100. And then this is the risk. And wait, let's do it like this. Risk money, risk per lot is equal to this. And then we can calculate the lots that we're able to trade. I think we just have to divide, I hope I'm not messing this up, but we have to divide the risk risk per lot divided by risk money. Is this correct, or am I messing this up? Let's just give it a quick run and check what happens. Whoops. Okay, we open positions, which is good. I don't know if this is correct. Yeah, I mean, this could be correct. So we lose 500 on a 100K account, which is 0.5%. Okay, I think my calculation is correct in the first try. Looks like I'm a little bit genius here. I'm just joking. Okay, so this seems to work. So now we have to take care of closing the position, right? So we have to take care of this, but we also have to take into account the losing positions. So what we do is we don't close the previous positions. I mean, yeah, it's just like for the sake of an easy program. This is not perfect here. So we don't close the position. And we just keep it open, I think. I mean, there are two things we could do. We could keep track of all the lost money that we lost when we closed the positions. And we could just leave the positions open and take the difference between the account equity and the account balance to check if we are in profit. Okay, maybe we can just add another variable here, like lost money, something like this. And whenever we close a position, we will just add the lost money here. So we say setup lost money plus equal position get double position profit plus position get double position swap, something like this. And yeah, I know this is not completely perfect, like there will be some inaccuracies, but I mean, for this small program, it will be okay. So, okay, so we should sum up all the lost money, and now we could go ahead and say, when we have a setup, we want to check if setup lost money plus, yeah, let's just select the position here, I think. Okay, so we have to select the currently open position. Position select by ticket, setup position ticket, and if we were able to select this, we can add the position get double position profit and position get double position swap here. And we check if this is greater than account info double account balance multiplied with TP% divided by 100. And if this is true, we just want to close the position and reset the setup, right? So if setup position ticket is greater than 0, we want to say trade position close position setup position ticket, or we can just try to close it anyways. And then we just want to, yeah, we'll just reset the time here to 0. So this should take care of the rest. And maybe I will have to explain the code one more time. And again, this is absolutely not a good code that I've wrote, but it's a quick and easy code. And it should be enough to like trade the strategy. And I realized that I also have to reset the setup position ticket. What else do we have to reset? I think this is it. Oh, the lost money. But now it should work. So you can see the first setup was closed already in the last test. So the code seems to work here. And yeah, we can use this program to trade these range breakouts. And you can see we now open trades whenever there are these setups. And yeah, so far the program is generating money. And I mean, most of the time it will generate money. So this is not really surprising. The thing is, or the big risks are that you can have really big lot sizes if you always open too many positions and they are never closed because the range is just too long. So this is one of the big risks. But as long as this is not happening, yeah, you will be kind of just fine. And yeah, you can see this was happening once here. So here we had a big problem where there were like 3 or 4 attempts necessary to get the actual breakout. But then in the end, there was a breakout. And everything worked out just fine. So you can see this kind of works so far, and this is something you could definitely try out for an FTMO challenge, but make sure to clean the code up so it's not messed up like the code that I wrote here. So there are some things that are really insecure about this program. But let's have a look at this again. So I explained everything here before. I extended the C setup class a little bit. Now we have the lost money variable that we will need to store the lost money in, because if we turn around the positions, we obviously close the old position, and we have to keep track of the money that we lost, because otherwise it would just not work out. And then we need the ctrade class for position opening and closing, of course. I explained everything here before. So let's have a look at this point. So when we do not have a current setup, we search for a setup. And if we found the setup, we will update the time 1 variable, which means that we then get to this point. And here we have, we calculate the bid and ask price. Actually, we never use the ask price, so we can remove it as well. Then we calculate the lots that we would use for the first position. We do this by calculating the amount of money that we are able or allowed to lose. So we just multiply the account balance with the risk percent divided by 100. And then we have the risk per lot. So how do we calculate this? We can just take the range size, which is the high minus the low, of course, divide it by the tick size, so that we get the amount of ticks that are inside of this range. And then we multiply it with the tick value. So if we know what amount of money one tick is worth, we can just multiply it with the amount of ticks in this range, and we will get the total amount of money that we would lose if we lose the whole range. And this is always like symbol trade tick value and symbol trade tick size is always calculated on one lot. So what we have to do is to get the actual lot size that we are allowed to trade, we just divide the risk per lot by the risk in money, pretty much, for this range. And then we have the lot size for the first trade. Then we check if the bid price is above the high of the setup. If this is true, we check if we have an open sell position. If this is true, we calculate the new lot size and we close this open sell position. And of course, do not forget to update the lost money counter in this setup object. And then if we do not have a current position, so if position tickle is smaller or equals 0, then we want to calculate or round the lots and we open a new buy position. Also, make sure before you use this program in a FTMO challenge or in a live account, make sure to fix this code. So there are a lot of possible errors that could occur. Because, for example, if or are there so many errors that could happen? I mean, if we are not able to close, we don't reset. So yeah, I just make sure that you review the code and make it safe. And this is pretty much the same, but for a sell signal. So if the bid is below the range low, then we want to check if we have buy positions. If we have buy positions, we close them. We reset the position ticket variable. We update the lost money variable, and we open a sell position with a new lot size. And then this is the rest of the code where we just check for the TP. So we just add the lost money that we stacked up in the setup object, and we add the position profit and the swap of the current position, and we compare it to the current account balance and multiply this, of course, with the TP percent divided by 100. So we have the amount that we want to realize if we close this setup. And if we are in profit by at least this amount, we just close the current position. And yeah, maybe we can check if this actually worked before we reset everything. This will make it a little bit safer, I would say. And yeah, then if we were able to close it, we'll just reset everything. Yeah, I think this should be kinda safe. So let's maybe make one last back test with a little bit longer period. So you can see that we also have some fails, because this will not always win, of course. So let's try it out for the last year. And yeah, you can see it's just working like as we programmed it, and that's the beauty of programming. Once you've wrote the code, you can use it in any chart, in any symbol, in anything, and yeah, you can see, there it is. Like, it can work out quite well, but you can also have events like this where you just fail miserably, and then you just fail. So it's not like super safe, but still it's something you could use. It's an idea. And yeah, feel free to use the program, but make sure to make it a little bit safer. Play around with the settings, and let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this. And if you want to learn how to program for the MetaTrader 5, check out the links in the video description. Have a great time and good trades. Bye bye.